Who is Louden Styles? You know what? Let's turn back the clocks and let's go to where Louden Styles didn't even exist. And there was this young black kid living in Grenada, Mississippi. At a young age, being told by friends and family alike, this boy's been here before. At 5 years old, I had the wisdom of an old man. Everyone told me that I was 5 going on 50. A typical childhood, a typical kid growing up with problems. A kid that was different from everybody else and was treated differently because of how he was. At a young age, the first ever wrestling match I ever saw, the first bit of wrestling I ever saw wasn't WCW, it wasn't WWF, it was ECW. And I saw Terry Funk and Sabu damn near mutilate each other in the middle of the ring for their entertainment. And at 5 years old, you'd think that could scar a kid. Oh, it scarred me. But it made me want to watch more. At 5 years old, I loved ECW, which opened the door for me to watch other promotions, which opened the door for me to watch WCW, for me to watch the WWF, now WWE. Different from other kids. I never looked to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as a role model. The only reason I ever respected the man was because he was the first black guy I ever saw that held a world heavyweight title. I never respected Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson only for that. I was never a kid that ate their vitamins and say their prayers. I was more about living in the macho madness and riding an edge of a lightning bolt. God rest your soul. I was never a kid stealing, wheeling, dealing, son of a gun. I was more about Big Papa Pump is your hookup. Holla if you hear me. At 7 years old, I told myself I wanted to be a professional wrestler. Generic, corny story, but it's the damn truth. And even growing up, as much as I wanted to say I wanted to be this and I wanted to be that, in my mind I always said, I want to be a professional wrestler. At 17, I went to my mother and she asked me, son, what do you want to do in life? I told her, I want to be a wrestler. She heard it all the time when I was a little kid. And she thought it was just a child thing to say because I was so into wrestling. But my mother looked at me with a disappointed look on her face and told her, son, you're going to get hurt. Son, that ain't for you. You have church members, you have brothers in the Church of Christ who are professional wrestlers, and they're telling you that ain't a job you want. I looked at her and I said, I know. I know the hazards. I know the casualties. I know what they've gone through, but I still want to do it because that is what I love to do. That is what I want to do. My mother saw a 17-year-old boy passionate about something that she didn't want me to be passionate about because I've been saying it since I was a little kid. And for the first time, this little 17-year-old boy who changed his dreams up more times, but only had this one in his head, what he wanted to be, finally was serious about what he wanted to be, and my mother didn't understand. At 18 years old, Louden Styles started to form. I met a man in Nashville, Tennessee at an anime convention. If you haven't realized, yes, I am a total nerd. He met a man at an anime convention called Loud and Noxious. But for you wrestling folks out there, you know him as Gavin Loudspeaker. He met this man and he was hooked. He was hooked on his personality and the way he acted. Louden Styles formed from meeting guys like Gavin Loudspeaker. Louden Styles was created out of the many things in my head that I've always wanted to say, but I never could say because I was so quiet and I was so scared. Louden Styles is basically every thought, every action, every word that I kept to myself and I never said, spilling out in me. That is Louden Styles. Louden Styles is just a young kid who grew up in a one-sided town that was filled with poison to move to a town in Nashville, Tennessee where I actually have a damn chance. And I am living every freaking moment to the very end. That is Louden Styles.